When it comes to Hot Wheels collectors and fans alike, if there's one thing that matters, it's children's charities. When I have extra cars for my videos, if they don't get used in future videos or projects or whatnot, my extra cars get donated to children's charities. Well, Mattel helps children's charities immensely, and they donate and they run events and stuff like that. Well, the Hot Wheels conventions, they do the same thing. As a matter of fact, Hot Wheels clubs do the same thing too. They help out local children's hospitals and whatnot. So we're talking about toy cars here, which are intended for kids. Yeah, they're fun to collect, but it's a kid's thing, and maybe it brings out the kid in all of us. So for the convention that was in Illinois, Oak Brook, Illinois, 2014, Mattel, as usual, as they have been doing for years, they donated prototypes for the charity auction. So collectors, we bid on those cars if you want to. These are not cheap items, okay? These are one-of-a-kind items, prototypes that come from Mattel's factory, and these are authorized. They come from Mattel, they bring them, and they're all kept track of, so they know who has this prototype. So for the Oak Brook convention, let me go ahead and show you some of the prototypes that were available. Now these cars here, if you'll notice, a lot of them will have pink interiors. Sometimes, I didn't notice it too much this year, but a lot of times prototypes will have mixed wheels, or they have an interesting plain paint job or something. That's because these are just prototypes. Now I didn't keep track of the names of the cars, I just took pictures of them. So I'm showing you the pictures here. Now they had some fantasy models. I'm sure you're going to recognize some 2014 new models. As far as how much these went for, some of them went for 400 in the 400s, while others, a couple pieces went for $5,000. And actually, it's a charitable thing. The winning bidders for, I think, two of them, it was in the $4,000 range that they won the prototype. But when they went to pay for it, they just rounded it off to $5,000. But for me, I've never been able to afford a prototype, but I care about children's charities too. So one of these models I won for $800. And you're going to think that's a crazy amount. Why would I pay $800 for one of these cars? And while I'm on that note, I have a family-friendly channel. So when I won the auction, people were saying, Mark, how are you going to make a video about that on a family-friendly channel? And I'm going to expect my viewers to conduct themselves in a manner that's appropriate for a family-friendly channel, okay? So let's go ahead and check out my first official prototype purchase. Children's Miracle Network. Now, they're based in Salt Lake City, but the convention was in Illinois. $800. There you go. Now, that's not to brag or nothing. I'm just showing it to prove that I wasn't kidding. $800 for this prototype I bought at the 14th Annual Collectors Nationals in Oak Brook, Illinois, April 2014. Felix Holtz, he's the Vice President of Design. This document right here certifies that the vehicle described above and bearing the engraved serial number is authentic. This serial number, that means that it's official. It came from Mattel. It wasn't stolen and then resold on the secondary market. Pretty cool to get this along with it. Here's the serial number. Now the name of the car is the Ford Super De Luxe. It actually has a different name on the base, and I'll show you that. And if you're wondering what in the world is that stuff on top, well, that's why we're going to have to talk about why did I buy this one. Here's the other information. Now, I talked about prototypes, and I said sometimes they have Barbie pinks. You see this one has dark flesh. They'll have odd colors for the prototypes, so this way you know it's a prototype. And additional notes with manure piece. We're going to call this manure because that's what it is. Now, if you're wondering, who is Biff? Well, Biff is from the 80s movies, Back to the Future. That's the one where they had the cool DeLorean, the Back to the Future time machine. This is from the retro line. Now, the DeLorean was in the regular $1 basic assortment. And the retro has also had this release, the 1987 Toyota pickup. So what does Biff have to do with the retro Back to the Future? The word is that Biff's car is going to come to the retro line. Now while I'm opening this up, I'm going to put a GIF here showing you Biff in Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. If you notice in the movies, poor Biff, he always winds up with manure on him. As for the manure, if you're wondering what is manure, when you eat food and when your body's done with it, it comes out. Well, cows, when they eat their food and it comes out, we call that manure. That manure is used to fertilize grass and different crops and stuff. So that's what it's used for. It's used for fertilizer. So that's what we have on top of the Super Duty. And let me just show you real quick. These are a couple of the basic DeLoreans that Hot Wheels has released. It has had lots of colors of the basic DeLorean. You can see right here in the back. It does not have the Back to the Future parts. And no, they didn't just, this is just not an interior popped in to make it the Back to the Future DeLorean. This is a total brand new molding. It has the pipes on the side. The base is different. So you can find the Back to the Future. Not find it, but it was available a while ago, the $1 if you like that one. Let's see, here's my auction number. Not that it's important, but you know, they let me keep the little number. Number 39. Since this piece is white, I might have to turn off the light above because it might be hard to see. Let's check the base like I was saying. It has the serial number etched on the base. You can see it right there. N1414008. Oh, it does say Ford Super De Luxe on the base. What did it say on the proto, on the thing? Yeah, it did say Ford Super De Luxe. Sorry, I thought it said something else. So it's not going to be known just as Biff's car. But because it's like this, it can be sold in other lines. I do believe it's going to appear in another retro line before it appears as Biff's Super De Luxe. There you go, official prototype. Has PR5 wheels, red base, so we should not see that red base anywhere. Let you take a look at the front grille as well. Pretty classy. Let's see if I can dim the lights so I can get some detail. That'll help a little bit. This way you can see shadows, and that'll help you see some details. You can see the lines simulating the doors. And we have some features for the back of the model. Got a license plate. Looks like we have an insignia below the license plate. So I wonder how much of this will be tampoed when it gets to the retro line, because they usually have a metal body, metal base with additional tampos. Here is that interior that they call the dark flesh. Bench seats. You don't see bench seats nowadays. Steering wheel. I don't know if you can see gas pedals. Kind of hard to see gas pedals down there. So the car will be released like this for other lines, but when it appears for a Biff's vehicle, you got the piece of manure. So let's check this out, because I know a lot of people aren't going to be opening up their retro. Here's what the manure piece looks like. Just looks like a blob, huh? I wonder what color. Because in the movies, when you see in the movies, sometimes it was kind of greenish. Sometimes it was kind of brownish. I guess it just depends on what the cow is eating. I'm kidding. It's based on how much dirt or whatnot that they picked up. There you go. An official Hot Wheels prototype. And why did I buy this one instead of the others? Well, I was looking at a couple of the others. So Plowed would have been kind of neat to own. It's a pretty neat model. $400 and some. I thought I'd let it go. This one, the reason why I got this one, how many people can say they own a prototype with manure on it? I'll say something different if I'm in person. But, you know, the manure, it comes from a historic movie, Back to the Future. It's a real car. Yeah, that's why I decided to buy this one. I'm not going to be buying too many prototypes, but for the charity, for my videos, for my collection, you know I like fantasy cars. Sometimes I I stray from the norm. But here I get a little bit of both. I get a real car with a little something odd, a little something special on it, which I just kind of like. It makes it different. How many people can say they have a prototype like this? Me, it's the only one. So anyways, we'll see what this looks like when it comes out in the retro release and also in the recolors where it's just the vehicle. Thank you for watching, and thank you for helping me maintain a family-friendly environment where kids of all ages can participate and know that we can just talk about collecting toys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.